Jacob Fatu has arrived in WWE and is quickly becoming the most important member of the new Bloodline. He's given them the spark they needed to get kick-started. But who is Jacob Fatu and why is everyone buzzing about him? He's not just an ordinary wrestler, he's part of the Anoaʻi family. Compared to his cousins, he's bringing something new to the table, which was obvious the minute he debuted. Taking down Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton all by himself. He proved he means business and he's got our attention. His style is all about raw power and intensity. He's taken the best bits from Umaga and other members of the family to create a hybrid style. He's a heavyweight who moves like a cruiserweight. He's got this insane mix of athleticism and sheer force that's a real game changer for the Bloodline. And let's not forget, his debut isn't just another addition, it's a complete transformation of the faction. Today we're breaking down how Jacob Fatu's arrival has changed the Bloodline forever and how he was the missing piece that really got them going. So make sure you stick around because you won't want to miss this one. The Anoaʻi family has produced some of the biggest names in wrestling, and Jacob Fatu is the latest name looking to join that list. Son of former wrestler Sam Fatu, aka the Tonga Kid, Jacob's family tree is packed with stars. His uncles include the late great Umaga and WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi. Rikishi's sons, the Usos, have dominated the tag team scene for years, honouring their family name. Another cousin, Roman Reigns, is one of the biggest stars in the business, the longest reigning champion in the modern era, and the tribal chief of the Bloodline. And let's not forget the final boss, The Rock, the most famous member of the Anoaʻi family. He's got some big shoes to fill, but it also gives him a solid foundation. Being part of the Bloodline story and working with his cousins has given him everything he needs to succeed. Interestingly, Jacob didn't always see himself following in his family's footsteps. Unlike many of his relatives who grew up obsessed with wrestling, his path to the ring was different. As a teenager, he got into trouble and was arrested at the age of 18. During this time, he saw his cousins, the Usos, competing against the Hart Dynasty on TV. This sparked something inside him, making him realize wrestling was the perfect way to change his life. His rise in wrestling was nothing short of incredible. After deciding to give wrestling a shot, he quickly made a name for himself on the indie circuit before signing with Major League Wrestling, MLW. That's where Jacob really started to shine. His mix of athleticism and raw power was on full display, and he soon became one of the top stars in the promotion. In MLW, Jacob captured the World Heavyweight Championship and held onto it for an impressive 819 days. This wasn't just about keeping a title, it was about showing everyone he could dominate the ring and carry a promotion. During his reign, Jacob put on some unforgettable matches, blending brute strength with technical skill, earning him a loyal fanbase and the respect of his peers. But it wasn't just about the titles. Jacob's matches were must-see events, often stealing the show. His rivalries and encounters with top talents helped boost MLW's profile and cement his status as a powerhouse. Jacob's charisma and ability to connect with the audience made him stand out even more, paving the way for his eventual move to WWE. His journey through MLW was the perfect training ground, helping him refine his skills and get ready for the big leagues in WWE. After building a name for himself, there were reports that he signed with the WWE around WrestleMania 40, but he never made his appearance until months later. It was rumored that WWE Creative held back his return because of fear that he would outshine Solo Sikoa. Jacob is known for his explosive style in the ring, mixing athleticism with a brutal approach. He's got this aura about him, and every time he steps in that ring, he outshines pretty much everyone he stands across from. He lets his actions do the talking. The facial expressions, the way he walks and hits moves, it all looks legit, and you can't help but take him seriously. His mix of high-flying moves and sheer power make him a standout performer in the ring. Looking at Solo, he's been steadily working his way up in WWE, especially since WrestleMania. He's trying to become the new tribal chief of the Bloodline, taking advantage of Roman Reigns being off TV after his loss to Cody. But there's something missing. It doesn't quite feel right. he doesn't have the same ring presence as Jacob, and he isn't on his level in the ring. His presence and in-ring skills have outshone Solo, and he's only been on TV for a few weeks. It's hard to believe he's standing behind Solo because he's better than him in every department. His debut in WWE was unbelievable. Solo was taking on Cody in the main event of SmackDown. As the match went on, it was obvious that he was in trouble, which forced the Tongans to ambush Rhodes. Then backup arrived, with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton getting involved to clear the ring, leaving Solo to fend for himself. As he was begging for mercy, he started to laugh, because he had something up his sleeve. In came Jacob Fatu, laying waste to everyone with super kicks. He was hit by Owens, but it didn't faze him, responding with a clothesline from hell. The beating continued with a Samoan drop on the steel steps, and then he speared Randy through the barricade. He looked like a man possessed. It was the textbook example of introducing an absolute nut job to the WWE. But he wasn't done, because he sent Cody Rhodes crashing through the announce table with a Samoan splash. After kicking the piss out of SmackDown's biggest stars, he came into the ring and aligned himself with the Bloodline. This moment changed the new Bloodline forever. It was the first time we could actually take them seriously. His first match took place at Money in the Bank. The Bloodline faced off against Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton and Kevin Owens in a Teddy Long special.
Now I'm gonna tell you something right now. Y'all want some action? Well, I'm gonna give it to you. I'm going to make this a 6-man tag team match.
It was chaos. With the referee being knocked out multiple times, Jacob got his ass handed to him, being sent through the announce table with the frog splash, and it seemed like lights out, but he made a comeback, saving Solo from a third crossroads. He dashed into the ring, landing a whisper in the wind and a DDT, and then held Rhodes up for Sikoa to deliver the Samoan spike for the win. Despite being in the ring with seasoned veterans, he was the star of the show. His involvement has added depth to the Bloodline story, with Roman off TV after losing to Cody. Solo Sikoa has taken on the mantle of Tribal Chief, and we really couldn't take him seriously. The inclusion of Tama Tonga was pretty decent. He's done well since his debut, but Tonga Loa is a different story. I mean, he can barely throw a punch. That failed low blow was just hilarious.
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch.
But Jacob Fatu has completely changed the game. His inclusion has strengthened the Bloodline, making them a real threat. His brutal and aggressive style complements the faction's image and has set up future storylines and potential conflict within the Bloodline. We're not quite sure where it's headed, especially when the camera zoomed in on him after hearing Roman's name and his expression changed. He could be working with him behind the scenes and switch sides during the upcoming Civil War. He's become the new enforcer and Solo's biggest asset, bringing a fresh dynamic to the group. Each of the new members has been built as lunatics and completely unhinged. Jacob's impact has been the biggest, and the commentary team was stunned when he debuted. They played an equal part in his build, with Wade Barrett questioning Solo for bringing in a psycho like him. Compared to other members, Fatu's impact lies in his ability to shift the balance in the favour of the Bloodline. There isn't a better example of this than what happened at Money in the Bank. Looking ahead, Jacob's role in WWE is only going to grow, with new challenges and exciting matches. His impact on the Bloodline and WWE overall is undeniable. He's the missing piece for the new Bloodline. With Roman's return likely to come around SummerSlam, things are really getting interesting. In my opinion, Fatu is miles ahead of Solo and could definitely hold his own against Roman Reigns. We're going to see the best of him during the Bloodline Civil War, and whoever has him on their side is going to come out on top, no doubt about it. And honestly, I can't wait to see what's next for the Samoan Werewolf. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Jacob Fatu and the new Bloodline. And let me know your predictions for what you think's going to happen when Roman returns by leaving your comment down below. If you like this video, take a second out to subscribe so you can stay tuned for more wrestling content right here on WrestlingReel.